Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and I've got another video here today, and this one is going to be a 3v3 game that I was sent by Granuli. Looking at the teams, we've got Granuli here in the purple playing the Gungans. His pocket's going to be Hero here in the teal first order, and last on their team is Floor Frost here in the red Zan Consortium. And then across the river, and this is a map separated by a river but like precipice, we've got Flagcap Arnie here in the orange playing Galactic Empire. Good solid civ for him. We've got Russian Blunt here in the yellow Wookiees as the pocket, and then last we've got Replete Halo here in the Green Republic. And yeah, it's a bit like Precipice, the kind of crazy crossing though. I'm going to have good luck walling that one. Some of them are a little bit easier to wall. It's got that sort of dead swamp sort of vibe with these, like darker textures and such. And Unethical Pond located. Well, that's just broken, isn't it? Although, they can't do the walling, so, I feel like this is a call for pocket mounty if someone were to fish on this. But that could be a huge advantage here for Russian Blunt if he gets like a shipyard down there early in the game and just gets those extra, trawlers out. So there's a little bit of ponds now and again, but nothing to that scale. That's a crazy one he's got now. I don't think there's really much benefit on the other side in contrast to it. It looks pretty similar with the ore and stuff, but I would say that this is a bigger landmass too, so Russian Blunt's team's got it going on here in terms of their map generation. And looking at the food, double nursery is here for Arnie, so quite a bit of food to get people going. There's some EOPs as well that they can grab up, and if you look in the river, tons and tons and tons. Absolute ridiculous amounts of fish, and 2 berries. If you want to get on the berries, this could be shorefish and 2 berries. But really, lots of shorefish that you can get a food processor next to get some extra workers out there. And they have a very good gather rate, pretty much the sort of second best really. Just behind hunting, a little bit ahead of farming, I think. Carbon processor going down here. Exciting stuff. EOP trapped here. Ore very trapped. That's not a good spawn for the ore, is it? There's other ores over here. Some spawned in the trees as well. The tree clusters look like they need a little bit of work on this one, maybe. I don't know, they seem a little bit inconsistent. Some of the Nova here getting stuck as well. But maybe we need to cut down on these little clusters that's spawning around. They seem kind of scarce in the middle as well. They're sort of more focused up against the edge of the map, I suppose. I mean, this one just looks artificially created. Like, I guess it is art. You know what I mean? Like a person just went and did this, poorly. Not like the script usually does a good job of not making them look so like rigid. It's just like you boxed it, like a rectangle, like I'm doing right now. You can see on the minimap it looks that way. Interesting shipyard wall here from Frost. You want to get in on that fishing action. His wing, on the other hand, is going to be making a troop center, so you think they get that wall up pretty quickly. I don't know where the next crossing is for them here. It's over here. They could end up with maybe like a Mountie coming his way before he's even got the wall finished. Hope for his sake that doesn't happen. How about this little light wall's about? Now surely this is walled. Don't think there's any like rules around shipyards that you can get through or boats can get through or anything like that. This should be a solid wall. The other side of things, pretty quiet. I mean, the farms are going down. Farms and a power core. I'm not too sure what Replete's up to, building a power core like that. Yeah, troop center started here for Granuli. Granuli's got a very easy to wall sort of location here for his carbon, because it's, like a couple of houses here, another troop center here, and then you can only really walk past the command center. Can't get a turret behind it, you can't stand anywhere behind it at all, so really nice. And you can even get some farms up in this area as well. Really nice base spawn. The Novas, on the other hand, forward facing, but you shouldn't really need those until T3. You can go and get like a command center here. Pretty basic. Oh, we do see the shipyard for Russian Blunt, so he is planning to take advantage of that unethical pond. A little bit late though, they're all hitting sort of T2 right now, so you could have built the early game in a manner with, you know, if you've got 2 nurseries as well. Try and get your carbon up a little bit, just sort of the same build you would do with a trooper, a mounted trooper rush or something like that, and get the shipyard going a little bit quicker. Then you can lean on it now, maybe have a few trawlers out already. And it looks like the Mounties absolutely, they've snuck past me here. Did make it across past the wall, getting on top of Frost here. Does have 2 troop centres. Is pumping out some trooper recruits, but he's getting a little bit distracted from this one guy that's going for the power core. And there is a worker in the vicinity, but he's really not paying attention. I think he might go and repair it now. I think he'll just get there just in time. But unfortunately, his trooper recruits are being like spawn camped by the 3 Mounties over here, and the damage has been split across them. You can see that 2 of them are on almost 1 shot, the other one on half health. But this is a lot of ramping damage here, and they bring them all back for the power core, trying to kill it off. But this trooper recruit is actually in a good spot as well, not much surface area, and he's going to slowly kill off these Mounties. But still a decent amount of time here for Arnie to get things going. But Frost is, you know, behind this. He's still going for this power core, almost killed it. But it will be repaired. He does have these extra workers building with the shipyard. Not quite completed his wall though, but this one Mountie, oh, this one's full health, so 2 Mounties going to be heading across to the pocket, could slow him down and give Russian Blunt that huge edge here. He's going to be going for the temple opener here, grab up some holocrons. Don't often really see that from a Wookiee player. You could have a very good mid-game here if you get some holocrons and he's got the extra workers from the fishing. The other side of things, it looks like some troopers here rushing across into replete space here. Not quite ready for it. He's got some workers on Nova, a temple, maybe trying to do some sort of defensive Padawan play. A little bit of a miscommunication here though if they've both got temple. And you would say in terms of civ bonuses that you would probably want to give it to the Republic player because they're going to get more out of the holocrons. But either way, no turret here, and Replete kind of really dropping the ball here. Maybe needs to drop 2 houses and just wall this out. I don't really think he should be leaning on a turret to clean this up though. He's got his troop centre, and I'm sure he could have gotten a Padawan out if he was his build okay. Looks like he's missed a full lump though. 2 full lumps actually. I haven't really caught them at the start, but that's a lot of food to be behind. 600 food. And does get his turret up. We'll clean up that aggression here. And the other side of things, it's pretty quiet now. See that Flag Cap Army just thinking about going for tech level 3. Getting the 2 buildings here. Frost, on the other hand, never actually finished the wall. It's still open. There's a lot of trooper recruits here built up, and he's just upgraded them to troopers. So maybe going to go for a counter attack here across into Arnie's base. See, Arnie is preparing some sort of defences here, getting a makeshift wall going with a gate. It's still quite open here on the right hand side of it. And yeah, kind of just waiting for the T3s to proc, and then there'll probably be a lot more aggression. Some more troops though heading across to Replete space, and Replete's kind of just looking a little bit out of it here. Right? He doesn't know what his plans are, and he's just falling apart. He's really going to need some help from the pocket here, I guess. And this one turret's not going to be enough for all these troopers. He needs to wall this out. These 2 workers are gone. And on the other hand, it looks like Frost ran into this wall, but it did get finished, on, at least on this side. He has to go all the way around. Maybe that's just enough to delay here for Flag Cap to get something else out. Desperate attempts to build a second turret here for Replete, and workers are going to be getting gunned down here, just traded for troopers. And that's not even all the troopers though, a few more over here. Hero does reach T3, and these guys from Frost are heading straight into Arnie's base now. He does have a turret, and is forced to get the second turret here just to be overly safe. I guess the timing for the tech level, almost there, but yeah, a couple of workers will go down. He could have been a little bit more active if his micro here and pulled these away, because he actually lost 3 now. He can lose 4, I think. Be unlucky if he loses 5, and oof, does 5 workers. I'm gonna see 6. Ooh, 6 workers going down. And on top of that, we've got all these extra trawlers here that Frost has, so economically should be a little bit ahead of Arnie in this regard, but don't think Frost is T3, not at all. He's on the way, halfway across there. Double air base here for well, Russian Blunt. And I think I have double air base as well for Hero. So, going to be going for that. Fighters play kind of to be expected on a map like this where you can close it out. Not really much room for going for the mechs and such. See Hero going straight here for a fly cap Arnie. Trying to keep him down and out of the game. But EST3 should be able to defend us. I already got the anti-air turret up here, playing extremely turtleish. Didn't build any anti-air troopers though. Might want to make a couple just to move around here on this side and sort of keep the farms a little bit unharassed. Would be good for him though if Hero just loses this into the turret. Needs to watch if he gets some sort of pressure from the pocket and the wing here from Frost, because Frost's going to have a very good economy. And Frost being Zan Consortium as well, I think he really should have just powered into it. He's got 2 mech factories here. Power out all these strike mechs, get some upgrades for them, and put the pressure on Arnie that way. And he could also lean into the pocket as well. That could really help get his team ahead. We do see the fighters from Russian Blunt not actually chasing off these ones from Hero, who are actually going to slide into his base now, which is bad timing for Blunt because he's just sent his out across to Granuli. Replete's still looking pretty out of it here. Probably down to quite a few workers. We've got a bit of the raid here happening as well. Got to try and multitask. Down to 16 workers. And see these fighters looking for kills here, but they're actually going to fly into Russian Blunt's already mustered forces. And didn't really get anything out of that. And now he's harassing Granuli here, who doesn't really seem to have too much anti-air troopers, only 4 or so here. No turrets or anything like that to dance them into. And yeah, he's going to lose quite a few workers here. Lose that big sort of economic lead. I suppose you have to lose an awful lot actually to hit the depths that Replete's in right now, but still. I'll be limiting some of his options here when he gets into T3. Because what you'll often find if you play like a long T2 gun like that, you get into T3, your economy's pretty good. You could just like slam down 2 command centers and then, you know, catch up to everyone. Or you could go really hard on, you know, the aggression. Just because you've got that big food carbon base. And the strike mechs from Frost here heading into Arnie's base. You can see some of those anti-air troopers that were probably protecting the side, but he did have a turret as well. Doesn't really have a mech destroyer out yet. You're going to have to build one of those. And going to be behind in the upgrades as well, I imagine. Yeah. 3 command centers here, though, just very tightly compacted. And he's just trying to get as many workers out as possible. Get a bit of a boom going. And going to be up to Frost to try and keep that worker count down. But there will be a limitation, you know, on how many farms you can place here if it's going to be like this. You're going to probably have to go up to 2 or 3 mech destroyers, I think, here. But we're not really seeing many more out of Frost, which I think is maybe a mistake. I think he should just be like pumping these out. He's got like 2 mech destroyers over here, which honestly I think he should just be going full aggression here on Arnie. After seeing him go up to these 3 command centers here all huddled together, he should be getting his mechs here and just sort of sitting in this location and pushing him off the Novas and the ore. Russian Blunt planning to take down this wall very, very slowly, splitting his damage across not just 1, not just 2, but 3 prefab shelters, so we'll check back in an hour and maybe he'll have cleaned that up. Replete's situation still very poor. He's on the way to T3 though, so that going for him. Granuli about to hit T3, and look at all that resources that's, you know, just gathering up now. So much carbon and food to play with, so a lot of options when he hits T3. Hero, on the other hand, a little bit of a disadvantage here in the pocket against Blunt, because Blunt, you know, T4 air civ. So playing air v air, you know, in these scenarios, he can't really get too much out of it when they go off to tech level 4. Whereas Russian Blunt will be able to get the shields, the fast fighter, advanced fighter upgrades, and use those to do even more damage to workers. Let me check on what's happening with the holocrons. So I've got 2 for Russian Blunt here. I'll just go through all the usual candidates while Complete does pick up one, and I would say Frost is the other. Nope, he's not on the hollows today. You can see he's got a lot of mechs built up, and I still think he's just losing this window because look at all this breathing room that Arnie's getting to get all these farms down, get all these workers out and onto different little carbon spots, get this other command center here now as well, all while just only making the one mech destroyer. And then look at Frost's standing army, and look at the upgrades that he's got across his mechs. He's almost got pretty much everything for them. Already had 2 mech destroyers, and then all these strike mechs that could buffer as well. All he really had to do is just keep this momentum going, and he could have just sat here in this location and even followed. This would have been a great spot to follow up with like a fortress. He would have been ahead economically, because you look at all the trawlers that he's got as well in the river. Now he's getting a little bit raided here by Russian Blunt, and it looks like he's like going round here rather than just killing his own wall or making a gate. I think this is just a huge misplay here from Frost on his part. He could have really caused a lot of damage to a player that, you know, is quite a lot better than him mechanically, but, you know, for whatever reason, the choices that they've made here, he would have had a big edge against him. That definitely could have changed the trajectory of that game, this game. And all the way around here, it looks like Russian did not take down the wall, he's given up. A lot of fighters out though, you can see a great deal here in Frost Space, a great deal here at home. It's got that economy with the aqua harvesters now after fishing out all the fish there. Really building up a lot of strike mechs. Unfortunately, Frost is actually going to go and play for Russian Blunt now. Arnie's kind of just getting left alone to his own devices to do what he wants. Which means these 4 command centers are just going to be pumping out the workers again and again. Might even take the lead here if we have a little check. It does indeed, 75, so he's overtaking Frost now. And that's just going to get higher and higher. Probably up to about 120 or so. Maybe even at 90 he might go for early tech level 4 and get forward going. And then just finish things off in T4. A few bombers here which will help against these strike mech raids, but you can see the DPS output of them with all those war center upgrades and just how many there are. A lot of workers going down here, and these are workers that have got extra health as well on expanding fronts. You can see we've got 65 rather than 55. You will have to micro them a bit to dodge those bombers, but big disruption here in Russian Blunt's eco. But on the other hand, Frost is going to have problems when Arnie gets going here and starts making just, you know, a lot of very, very good mechs. And the problem is his economy is going to get outscaled as well by Arnie here. It's just a slow and steady moment, pumping out all these workers, overtakes the trawlers, and you don't really want to be facing a fully boomed Galactic Empire just throwing mech destroyers at you. And Frost's not really knowing what to do with the strike mechs here, they're all just kind of dying. Always luring him into the air though. A little bit of an elevation here, it's helping out a slight bit, but all that air does get cleaned up by Hero. I don't know, Russian Blunt not even paying attention. He's just hit T4 as well. This is an absolute disaster because he didn't get the upgrades over those units, and now he's got all this air running around his base. He's got maybe, what, 1 turret and 1 anti-air boat because, let's face it, he's an air civ and he had all that air. And now they're just getting terrorized by Hero's air. Looks like he's not even going to go for that now. He's making heavy weapons factories up here in the top. Does have some fighters over here though. Did get fast fighter. But now there's strike mechs coming into the base and he doesn't have anything to push them away. Have to make some more bombers. Got 1 here. Arnie does hit T4. And you see that little push started now. Just a few mech factories here, pumping out some mech destroyers. Anti-air mobile just to make sure no bombers come and be annoying. Not quite got the same level of upgrades as Frost does, but he threw away strike mechs and, you know, he's trying to catch up now, adding on his command centers at this point. Which means that kind of vulnerability that Arnie showed earlier, Frost's going to show now, but it's going to be even more worse because, you know, there could be a fortress, yeah, and then there could be cannon pressure as well, which is just, you know, a lot of DPS coming his way in terms of knocking down his buildings. Whereas if he did it earlier to Arnie, he'd just kind of be standing here, you know, knocking him off the ore and the Nova. And setting himself up for this kind of play later. But never took that choice. And the fighters have killed off all the Aqua Harvesters basically, killed off the Trawlers here, the Strike Mechs as well. And so Arnie trying to send some Mech Destroyers to help Russian Blunt out here. He does have those shields and built a few more fighters now to clean up all the fighters from Hero. Hero on the other hand, still in tech level 3, needs to get some sort of transition into a better build going. Got a few mechs here at home, but telling his team that T4 air is incoming, but he could have went up to T4 himself, I think, after all that plays and gotten some interceptors or something like that, and maybe just clean these up. He does get that armor upgrade as that Civ, I'm pretty sure, and they have the flat HP benefit as well. So I think in small skirmishes they would do not too bad against the fighters. You can see that Blunt can't really afford Advanced Fighter, can't really afford the armor for them either. Just the basics, the shield and the Fast Fighter. They're coming in here trying to raid Arnie, but this is a bit too late to be pressuring him because he's got things going now. You see the push has started here. Oh, the Grenadiers are a nice touch here from Frost. I don't think he really needs to micro the forces like that and moving them back and forth. He just needs these guys to stay still, to be honest, and let his Grenadiers do all the work here, and he's going to win this trade. That's going to buy him a little bit of time, particularly if he can get surged forward here and kill off the cannons and make sure that they don't even get started knocking down his buildings. So, a bit of a misplay there from Arnie to just stand there and take that trade. We needed to split his units up a bit, get some strike mechs going as well, and just make that fight take a lot longer. You can see that Frost comes forward now. He can kill off the cannon, that's going to be really good for him. And really slow down any potential of Arnie just killing him off there, while he still finishes his economy behind all this. Still killing quite a few Mech Storms. I'd kill off this cannon if I were him. I think that's maybe 2 shots from these 5. Oh, the Defilers are going to be huge here as well. A few Mounties. He's got a few bits of everything here. All anti-mech units. He gets onto that cannon. Very nice. And Air is flying out here trying to find some sort of damage. Pull things back for this team, but it's not looking great because Replete's just like in his own world this game. Like it's just all falling apart from so early, and now he's just not sure what he's really up to. He's sort of half booming. He's been left for quite a while. I think he should be in a slightly better spot than that. And the Air are not going to find much opportunities for kills with these advanced anti-air turrets. And almost a perfect triangle here. Illuminati confirmed here in Brunelli's base. Even a few anti-air mobiles and some heavy strike mechs getting built up here, so looking to do some more raiding. It's completely open here. You could just run straight to Russian Blunt's base. And it's kind of just a very long skirmish. You see the Dark Troopers are actually finding, you know, some opportunities here. They're doing quite well against that unit composition that Frost was doing, and Frost's sort of thrown all his units away here, and now he's calling for help from his teammates. He's still rallying things here into the meat grinder here. Shield generator will be going back up, and there can be cannons pumping out now after these Dark Troopers. And back to square one for Frost here. Needs to get everything together. Get a shield generator and hold here. Get some help from Hero. See those buildings did get built by Russian Blunt, but he's not really put anything out of them. His economy really fallen apart after losing all those trawlers, the harvesters, a lot of Nova workers dying, and now even more strike mechs are in his base, killing off his workers, and he can only really rely on bombers. Didn't send his anti-air mobiles out though, which I think he should have done. And they could kill off the bombers, slowly but surely. And the upgrades are starting to show here for Arnie. Got that heavy Mech Destroyer upgrade. Still needs his health ones though. But it looks like he's got a lot of the War Center ones. That's 7+7 damage now. Cannon getting into position to start knocking down the shield generator. And then probably the fortress. Few Defilers building up here for Frost, but doesn't really have much of a standing army. And these units will be really good when there's, you know, other units for them to support. You can try and micro them a little bit. Lacking a bit of range though. They would be troopers, so you need to get that trooper range upgrade for food to get that +2. And Do a little bit, but I wouldn't really want to lose them this quickly, just for a cannon. Could use the mech destroyers to do that. And needs Hero to come and rescue him here. What on earth is this speed he's moving at? Must be their heavy artillery. The heavy artillery will be good against this army, but he needs to watch out for the terrain. He needs to do a bit of attack ground maybe on these trees. Very awkward choke to get through here and hit the side of this army. Artillery is managing to pump out here despite everything that's happening to Russian Blood. Must be the work of those holocrons he's picked up. These will really help out. Got 10 plus 1 range, which is pretty decent. Can get up to plus 2, but you know, not sure you could afford all that really. Really feeling a little bit of pressure with his decision to go heavy strike mechs here, trying to run into the base of Arnie and get some damage here as well. I think it would really be better to have just gotten like a good army going and just killed off Replete and then, you know, killing off Blunt while these two hold Arnie here at this side. The harassment stuff is not paying off so much. Even building some more mech factories at home, but it could have been a bit more ambitious, I would have thought, and just getting a forward across. There's not really much at home to defend him here at the moment. But if he lets Replete get into the game, it's going to be even more difficult for them. Because it's practically 2v3 at the moment and they're struggling. Artillery get into the shield generator that Arnie's developed here in the base of Frost. And they're pumping out a lot of DPS and saving Arnie's army from the First Order artillery. And together they've got quite a good unit composition now. Research Center from Replete, so maybe thinking about going to Tech Level 3, or Tech Level 4 rather. Holocron up for grabs there. Not sure what the plan is here for Hero and Frost. Looks like Hero's got quite a good economy, but just not too many units. In terms of artillery, getting put to shame here by Russian Blunt, who's had a lot of problems all game. And Frost really not got too much. Just a few mech destroyers, but you know, these are up to 281 HP, so Arnie's managed to get both the upgrades for them now. Frost, on the other hand, just stuck at 150. Does get all the upgrades for mechs, but can't afford them. Spent a lot of resources on those defilers that didn't last too long. And still some air, putting some pressure around the bases here for Hero, who doesn't really have tech level 4 levels of anti-air. Just has to grin and bear it while they're killing off his workers. Are they trying to sneak a fortress up here? I don't know why he's really trying to sneak it when he's got all these strike mechs. He's kind of mucking around here, I think, with the heavy strike play when he needs to just get like a bunch of mech destroyers together and just walk into their bases and get some cannons and stuff. Before Arnie and Russian Blunt kill off Frost here. It's a lot of strike mechs, maybe he can kill off the economies. He has 3 visits he'll have to pay though. The reason I like the idea of having mech destroyers and cannons here is it's like it's very visible, hard to remove pressure, right? This can be cleaned up with a few mech destroyers. It's temporary, and you can hide in the command centers and stuff. A few workers going down here. And his credit, Replete does not have anything to deal with this. The fighters, on the other hand, can do quite a bit of damage to it, the advanced fighters. There's a bomber now. And they distracted them a bit, but again, Frost is really crumbling here. Just pure artillery out of Russian Blunt, and it's sort of guaranteed by the Dark Troopers and the Mech Destroyers here from Arnie. Hero's trying to find an angle here. He's going to run in with these Flame Troopers, which I haven't really seen much of. They've been buffed. They're looking pretty rubbish though. There we go. A bit of damage. Doing alright. There's a lot more coming in. If that was Mounties though, these are just dead, I swear. I don't know if he's lacking some upgrades or what. Yeah, he's only got +1 damage. And the army's actually even, you know, pulling away. And look at these assault mechs coming out here for Arnie. It's going to make this army almost beyond reproach at the moment. Like, they're going to need, like, Jedi. I don't think they've got any Jedi Civ. They're going to need to have their own assault mechs then. They also have some Grenadiers. The current standing army is just no good against this. A lot of cannons standing in the way here, and this is all just going to get absolutely annihilated. It really is set up here, just a little bit late. I think from everything that he had going, I think he could have done this like 10 minutes ago. Running in with more strike mechs now. Again, look at the state of things here. This is going to snowball rapidly out of control with all these assault mechs. And no, like, cheesy way to deal with them. No, you know, conversions. And they can grab up these resources as well. All this Nova and ore could go to Arnie here. Help get out more of these assault mechs. And while that's going on, Russian Blunt running around with his fighters. Well, a lot of workers to catch over here with no anti-air at all, and that's going to be horrible. This is this battery though. A little bit, but I don't think they really care too much about the battery. They could kill off a lot. There's one here as well. Kill off a lot of workers here. Frost run a lot of his workers away, but look at these fighters positioned here, catching them, trying to get to their new promised land. And more shield generators going down here. Mech factories. Currently running more strike mechs around. Russian might try and do some walling, like wall them out of his base. It's a good move. Really shut this down, but is there a gap here? No. At least, you know what you could do is delete this wall running and make a gate. Just keep them here imprisoned with the bombers. Yeah, the strike mechs have just, it's not the game for them, I don't think. They have not been used well enough. Either or. Because look at the base now, all these assault mechs and artillery. Killing off so many units. Whereas Replete's not even, you know, like fully dead. He's about as alive as he's always been all game. A few troopers out here. You know, and he could eventually get like Jedi Masters out as well. And the strike mech's awkwardly having to run out of here now and try and run down the centre bit. But there's no wall. I think it's just too late. It's not a good enough answer for this army. Russian and Arnie have assembled a very good composition here, and it's just marching through everything. They haven't really had to replace too much of it either. So they should have a lot of banked up resources to reinforce it should they suffer some attrition. And you can imagine Frost and Hero are going to be dirt broke here. Been throwing all the resources at this army for quite a while, but strike mechs do come in here late, last minute, try and get some kills, but all the units surging across. It's not going to make too much of a difference. I think the worst part here though is that Grunilli's army, in its current form, it's not going to beat this. And Hero's about to lose his economy as well. Frost has some workers hidden around, but not too good. Did get that +2 range. There will be no shameful mark against Russian Blunt's name this day. Troopers even getting in here now. Nice bit of buffer for the artillery and the assault mechs. Not quite got their upgrades, but they should get them soon enough. And Gruny's got a lot of stuff, but you know, it's not quite on the level. And again, it's still very it's not even killing Replete quickly. It's sort of half killing him. Sort of half sitting around, you know, a lot of these are not even killing buildings. Might end up doing like a clockwise rotation of the map, I suppose, with like base trading, but I think as it stands, money would be on Arnie and Russian's army. Fully upgraded Empire assault mechs, very strong. I don't know what this is. Did to get this fortress up. Some sneaky fortresses here from Russian Blood. Actually, a lot more artillery from him too. He's trying to get his troopers to reach the artillery, but the strike mechs are sort of fanned out and trading with them a bit. You're kind of even trade, I guess. A lot of strike mechs dying and a lot of artillery dying too. Even a lot of dark troopers here keeping these guys safe. And I think they're going to call GG. They kind of realise that there's not really any way out of this game for them. There's a few balls stuck there. Classic little bug who gets stuck going to their destination. But yeah, GG, well played to all involved, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you like the content, please consider leaving a comment on the channel, on the video. Like the video, helps the channel grow, get out to more people. We tend to push people towards our GBG Discord, which you'll find the server invite link down below in the description, and to Vibly.com, which is the place that sort of emulates the old MSN gaming zone where we play the game online. It sort of hosts the game lobbies for you and gets everyone connected. And if you want to support the channel another way, you find a PayPal link down below in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, bye bye.